and I will answer your question. I will see your hand, and I can answer your question. For everyone else, if you look at the bottom of your Zoom window, there's this little smiley face thing that says reactions, and you click that, and what that lets you do is raise your hand digitally speaking, and that lets me know you have a question. I can call on you. It gives me a little cue. Makes things kind of easy on me. If you want to just throw questions into the chat, I will see those. I can prioritize those after the hands are up. But one last final rant before we get into it, which is, when you're in this business for long enough, when you're in this industry for long enough, you start to see the emerging patterns, right? And I think one of the primary retardants, for lack of a better word, that slows and prevents artists down is it's really, really hard to delegate any of the stuff that you need to do when you're a solopreneur. When you don't have anyone else, it's just you, right? You have to wear all the hats all the time. And sort of the analogy that I like to give is, it's kind of like a chef. You guys are chefs, right? And you say, hey, I want to have this restaurant. I want to have this restaurant that's busy all the time and growing every single solitary year. And it's like, okay, that's awesome, but your superpower is cooking. So all of your time should be spent in the kitchen, cooking, ordering the food, trying new dishes. Turns out that's really hard to do if you have to be the one answering the phones and taking the reservations, greeting the diners at the front, sitting them down, taking their orders. You're the sommelier and the bartender. Then after it's all done, you have to clean all of that up, right? One of the things that I look back at like the evolution of our company from where we started to where we are today, all we've attempted to do is create solutions that eliminates one of those jobs. You know, you could argue your art up on a website, right? So that all of the transactions can take place and it's working when you're asleep. Okay, now you've just knocked out the receptionist. Then we realized that POD, which is one of the greatest advancements in this industry ever. POD meaning print on demand, meaning you get an order, the order gets printed, it gets boxed, it gets shipped, the printer gets paid, you get paid. You don't have to lift a finger for any of that. It just happens automatically. Godsend. There's no minimums. There's no running down to the printer. There's no dealing with tracking numbers. There's no waiting for FedEx or UPS or the post office to pick something up. There's no worrying about damaged things. So now you've knocked off the receptionist and you've knocked off the maitre d', right? We also realized in the process that artists and photographers, okay, should not be building their own websites. They don't need to build their own websites. They don't need to know what HTML is. They don't know what CSS is. They don't need to speak GoDaddy or any of the rest of that nonsense. So we now build your websites for you. It's very, very important. And now you've knocked out, by taking care of that, you've now knocked out the receptionist, the maitre d', and the waiter, let's just say. Next, we realize the real problem, though, which is the marketing problem, right? And until we fix that, and until we teach you guys how to market, until we get you guys to do it consistently, the business is never going to go anywhere. And that has been a huge, huge journey. It started out with, you know, essentially starting a university, right? We started out with the textbooks. And the textbooks are great, except nobody wants to read a textbook on their own and go through all of it on their own and learn on their own. You need help. So then we came in with the best support. And then we came in with a calendar that tells you what to do 365 days a year. And then we started running class. We run Zoom sessions like these, usually 2 a day, 5 days a week, with myself, members of my marketing team, members of our support team. The CEO gets in on them. And we teach the various different things, and we get you unstuck, and we do Q&A and answer questions, and you're in there with a group of your peers, i.e. community. So that was a huge advancement. Still not enough. Still not enough because of the yeahs. Like, most of you guys have never run a properly executed art sale in your entire lives because you don't realize how many pieces there are to it, okay? You tease a sale. You announce a sale. You have a bunch of social media posts that dovetail with the sale. You send emails to unopens. You extend a sale. There's a bunch of moving things, and we would teach our customers how to do this. And I'd be like, okay, guys, sale's coming up. Are you going to do this? And I would get a bunch of yeahs. And no, I'm not talking about the band. I know there's a band. I couldn't even tell you a song. But yeah, Patrick, yeah, we're doing it. They weren't doing it. They weren't doing it all completely. They were changing things, not listening to the advice, because it's really, really hard to do, right? And so our latest feature that we've created that's attempting to knock out the bartender, the sommelier, and the waiter all in one is we've created this thing called Copilot. It's actually a logo for it behind me, whatever. Anyway, because we have your website and because we have all of your images, okay, and because we're able to operate your website and we have that, we now become your email service provider. We already have all your emails anyway because it's the website, right? So we have your emails. We then connect to your Facebook and your Instagram account, and we've started doing marketing on our customers' behalf. What do I mean by that? Posting regularly on the social networks, which none of you guys do consistently enough. Running sales when the sale is right, which almost no artists and photographers do consistently enough. And because we have all of the images, we can cycle through all the images. And because we can go and turn discounts on and set the announcement bar and pull from your entire library, we're now marketing on our customers' behalf. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't have to do any marketing. There's still marketing that needs to be done that you need to do. But because we have Copilot now, we're able to take some of that burden off our customers' plates. Now, it's an extra service, but the whole point is that we're attempting, if you guys are to finish the restaurant analogy, we're attempting to keep the chefs in the kitchen where they belong, right? Where they belong. So that is my final pitch. We can get into Q&A. Jane has got her hand up for the first question. We can go down the line from there. All right, Jane, you're up first. Go ahead. You'll have to unmute. Mic icon, bottom left-hand corner. If you just click that once, Jane, I'll let you know when you get it. Yep.
My question is, what happens if you don't like the service or it doesn't work out and you want to cancel? And also, if you can sign up for a year with all of the bennies and then upgrade later on.
Yep, you can upgrade or downgrade at any point in time. We are, despite the fact that we have, 11,000 customers now, we're still sort of a small company vibe. We're yeah, I can see your husband's fired up about it. You have, I think that's the thing that you need to fix more than anything else. Because this is it. And tell them to listen for a sec.
Don't buy anything.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, Jane. You got a hostile environment.
Once they got your money, there's no retreat.
Well, no, hear me out, supportive husband.
Oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this over and over again.
No, it's okay. Hear me out. And I'll mute you, Jane. So if you want her to have a shot at it, and I don't want her money, Jane's husband. Like I don't need her money. I don't try to rope customers in the door. And the fact that you came up with that's fine. But I don't like it. Anyway, you're not giving her a shot, dude. Okay? No business, no successful art business is built in a year. I don't care if she ever signs up with us. You poisoning the well, she is never going to have the motivation it takes for the 3 or 5 years of grinding successfully and doing this intelligently to get there. I don't care if she signs up with us, doesn't sign up with us anywhere else. It does not happen in a year. And if someone is poisoning the well like that before you even start, it's going to be very, very difficult. And so I can't fix that thing for you, Jane. You have some other things to do, but like support her or don't. If you're not on the same board, like Art Storefronts is not for you. There's no business for you. Just fold because it's not going to go anywhere. It's just not going to go anywhere. It's not the way that it works. And I'm sorry to get involved in your relationship, but it's sort of infuriating. You have to sort that first, Jane, before you sort your art business. It's like you got to take care of your health first. So that's what I would say. And I don't mean to be inserting myself in there, but that was a very interesting situation. But I also understand his cynicism in saying, like, look, everyone's out to get your money. There are so many things and services and various different things that attempt to scam artists out there. No one ever tells you the truth. You know what the truth is? It is a 3 to 5 year grind. Okay? A painful grind because none of you guys like marketing. You have to learn how to do things you've never learned to do before. There is no shortcut. There's no magical gallery. No one's coming to save you. If you want it, you have to grind and you have to learn how to do it. Okay? And there is no service that makes anyone successful either. If you are looking for that, they are selling you snake oil, run. Okay? It's miserable in the beginning. God honest truth. You have to learn how to market regularly. You have to capture emails. You have to email those emails. You have to get out of your shell and start marketing on social media and being on video. And until you do that, nothing good is going to happen. Okay? There are 2 ways to make it. That's it. You either start doing what I'm advocating or you go and do the show and Thayer circuit. If you want the dream, that's the way it is. It's pretty hard to do the show and Thayer circuit. You're on the road constantly. You're paying for booth fees. That takes a while to grow. But that is the gig, and there is no other gig. Like the number of people that make it in the art gallery model, which everyone pines for, is the same number of professional basketball players, or people that play basketball versus professional basketball players. People that play tennis that are Roger Federer. It's just the odds are not good. The odds are not good. So why would you aim for that? Anyway, I got fired up right there. Sorry about that. Let's cool it off. Who's next? Yep, thanks, Don. And again, I'm sorry about that, Shane. That wasn't aimed at you, but I get excited about these things.
Okay.
All right.
I had to unmute myself.
Yep.
I'm not coming into this inexperienced, and I realize pitfalls that all the ones that you have mentioned.
Yeah.
And I've been a photographer for almost 60 years.
Wow.
So I'm trying to do this now myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I just built a website with the assistance of a company called SEO Gears.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to pull me in deeper and deeper into other parts of their organization that assist with marketing and SEO content.
Let me guess. SEO is one of them.
All that stuff. Anyway,
you don't need
the more I hear about you folks, and this is the third presentation I've participated in, the more I think you might be for me. But I can say I've already got a website, already got a logo that I've got trademarked. I've already got a website sales business that has really just launched, and I want to make the most success of it. So, is it possible to come in at this point?
Yeah, it is. I mean, my heart breaks for you a little bit, right? Because, I don't know what you're into that whole website. Less so that, like, because I've been doing this for as long as I have, and because I have access to all my customers' websites, and because I've been a digital marketer my entire career, like, I'm able to save folks like you a tremendous amount of money in the sense that, let's say you didn't sign up for us and then they tried to sell you on an SEO package. And I can tell you conclusively that no one sells art via SEO, period. End of sentence. Almost absolutely no one. It is dominated. Okay. Marketing channels, of which SEO, which is now super dated and like 15 years old. The early entrants get there and they dominate it and they win it. That's number one. But number two, what no one would tell you, and it's not even a knock on that company. That company might be great and they might be good at what they do, but no, like if 100, let me put it this way. If 100 pieces of art sell, my position is that one of them sells as a result of a Google search looking for landscape photos. Or is there, or maybe at a push it's 5 of them, but it's not more than that. And the reason being is that art sales are 50-50. It's 50% the art, the subject matter material, and then it's 50% who is the artist, why are they interesting, what makes them tick, are they a dog person or a cat person, are they a foodie, do they like beer or wine, do they like going to CrossFit, is there something that I have in common with them, and there has to be something like that, right? There has to be something like that bond, and it just doesn't happen as a result of SEO. And the marketplaces got to the SEO party early, really early, and you're not going to supplant them. And you're not going to supplant them in any terms of value. So, the point of it is that SEO versus everything else it is just not even, it's not even on the top 25 on the list of ROI marketing techniques, okay, that exist in today's day and age to get it out there. And so that's the sad thing. The long and the short is no one has a website problem, number one. Number two, you'll never be able to compete with art storefronts because every time you need to change something or go back to the well, they're going to just nickel and dime you for everything because that's their business. That's what they do. You don't need to worry about the website. The website is so damn secondarily, it's mind-boggling, right? So,
great. I want to be taking photographs.
I know.
That's where I want to spend my time.
I know. You're a chef and you want to be cooking in the kitchen. You don't want to be doing all the rest of it. I get it. I totally get it. But you somehow came to this conclusion on your own rather intelligently. You saw the writing on the wall somewhere in that whole process. Where was it? I'm curious.
Yep.
Yeah, but where was it where you saw the writing on the wall? You're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So yes, you can. We will help get you there. Are you retired now or you just have all the time in the world to dedicate to this?
I'm retired.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got plenty of time available.
Yeah.
Time that I'd much rather give to taking photographs and getting out and engaging in doing business photography, headshots,
yeah,
and event type photography.
Yeah, absolutely.
As well as all the other types of photography that I do.
Absolutely, love it. We can help. Get a demo if you haven't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks, Don. Do not waste a dime under any circumstances on the SEO. The only place the SEO changes, though, is one sort of disclaimer to the whole thing. Is, let's say you lived in Newport, Rhode Island, for instance, right? And you wanted to be a service photographer in Newport, Rhode Island. There is an argument that says going super local like that and then properly SEOing that such that when people search you, they could find you. There's an argument that that's helpful. But you also have to bolster that with Yelp reviews and Google reviews and all the rest of the social media marketing, which is still more valuable than that. But anyway, that's it. All right, Teresa, you're up next.
Hi, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So I'm so new to this. I just gave up everything to start this LLC and become a full-time artist. And I saw you guys on Instagram.
Who told you to start the LLC like you needed the damn LLC? How much money did you waste on the LLC?
Fucking stupid amount, man.
Yeah, I know. I could have told you this. Where were you before that happened? These are the things that, like, I'm just on one today. You do not open a bank account until you have a check in the name of the business entity. Okay, this is just first of all, I am not picking on you. Do you know how many times I made this stupid mistake in my career? Right?
Yeah.
Putting you through the whole process, getting you all excited, selling you, oh yeah, we're gonna get this. You didn't need a damn LLC. Period.
Yeah.
Period. Anyway, table that.
So I basically got the money to go to barber school as like a divorce settlement thing, and I decided to take that money and start this art business instead of going to barber school.
Okay.
And I saw you guys on Instagram last week, and I said, you know what? If he comes up on my feed today, I'm doing it. And then I just happened to hop on this call, and I heard you mention the POD.
Yeah.
Do you guys offer that?
Yeah, of course we offer that. But here, I want to get down to brass tacks. And by the way,
okay,
I love it when kids come on these things. And the reason I love it that kids come on, and you're a kid, is
I'm 35.
Yes, exactly. You're still a kid. You have your whole life. You have your whole life to get stuff right, right?
Thank you.
You have your whole life to understand how this business works and how you're going to build it and how you're going to go through everything. That's number one. Number two, and to the best of your ability, tell me honestly, how quickly do you need this art business to start producing income? And are you trying to rely on it as a job, or are you going to be okay for a while?
I have about 9 months of funds to live off of till I can generate income, but I have product right now to sell. Okay. I have merch. I went through and invested. I have hoodies, shirts, prints, stickers, but I don't have a website.
Okay. I am concerned for you in you not giving yourself enough runway to get the art business going that it has to pay your bills. I don't want you to be in a place 9 months from now where the business is starting to get a little traction and it's starting to go good. And instead of you being able to keep the money in there so you can keep growing the thing, you now have to start pulling money out. Most of the odds there would say, like, you know, you need to be contemplative about plan B, about how something that can pay your bills while you're growing this thing. I just want to place that there, have you think about that.
Okay, so I'm gonna be completely honest and like be upfront with you and say I have $20,000 to live off of, and I don't have much bills, and I don't even pay rent. Okay. I live rent free.
Well, that's one of life's biggest expenses, so that's very, very helpful. You're in a lovely situation there. Let's get to the brass tacks of, have you sold your art before, and if so, where?
Yes, I've sold it just in art galleries and art shows. I've never done anything online.
Okay.
And anytime I've done shows, I've sold out of everything to where I didn't bring enough stuff. So that's also a problem I run into, is not having enough and selling out.
Yeah, and that's where having a proper lineup, not just originals, because that's what you've been selling so far usually, but having the entire lineup. Okay, well, as your father, okay, I'm taking liberties. As your father, go and get a damn job, okay, and continue to work this thing on the side, because that is just the smart advice. But as your encourager, you could definitely do it. I don't like. It's exactly like the rant I got in the beginning of it when her husband was yelling in the background. That was hilarious, by the way. I've never seen anything like that.
Yes,
that was hilarious. I don't want this pressure clock up above your head, like clicking, right? Okay. Like if you're Elon Musk, I think you can handle that, right? Because lunatic, but most people can't, and I don't want the pressure to say that like you have to knock this thing out of the park in 6 months or 9 months, right? Like I want you to have the perspective that this is a 3 to 5 year run. In that time, I can have a business that's really humming and likely paying my bills. Okay, for the time between now and then, what should my focus be so that I can have some income coming in and still devote all this time to my dream? And sort of the way that I like to frame it to take it out of this is like, no matter how long the drive is, we always start getting fidgety in our seats when it gets to the end of it. And let me give you an example.
Yes.
So it's like if it's a 2-hour drive, about like an hour and 45 minutes, you start moving around in your chair and you're going, are we there yet? Are we there yet? But if it was a 24-hour drive, you wouldn't even be bothered at hour 12. You'd be like, okay, I've got to go to the bathroom. Let's gas the thing up and let's keep going. And life is like that. Like when you have the perspective set correctly, that you've got the time, you're not going to be fidgety. But when it's like 9 months, you'd be like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. You know, it's going to derail you a little bit. So, you know.
It's true. I'm in a health recovery program. I'm healing from an autoimmune disease. So that's like my full-time job right now. And I'm itching to work. And I think I needed you to just say, go out and get a job, even if it's part-time. I think it would help my self-esteem
100%.
while still healing from this autoimmune disease, because I've made huge gains in this program to where now I have confidence to go out in the field and work again.
Love it. Love it. Definitely start there. And it's like, you know, I'll give you another example. Like we have this customer. I love this guy, and he's probably 50, right? And he got his business up to the point where it was like really, really humming. And he was like at 105,000 a year in sales. Okay. And he was managing a restaurant as his full-time job. And he's like, I think I'm going to quit. I'm going to go all in. I'm like, he's like, what do you think? I'm like, no, give that thing another year or two. And maybe we have it humming at 300 grand a year, right? Or 400 grand a year. But you have to decide what your ambition is. What I love that is you're starting early. You 100% can go and get that job and still work with all your passion and all your extra time, okay, on getting the business going and getting the business humming. I want you to listen. I want you to start listening to my podcast. Start at the beginning and go to the front. It's right there. It's called the Art Marketing Podcast. It's totally free. It's everywhere you listen to podcasts. You're young. You probably have a podcasting application. But for everyone else, it's on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or, you know, Stitcher, Redbubble, any of them. Redbubble. I don't know why I came with that Redbubble. I thought anyway. It's on all of them. You can find it anywhere. So that's what I would say. You can start doing damage now, right? Thank you, Andrea. I appreciate it. You can start doing damage now and growing the thing. You just gotta build up a good social media following. You could start doing that right away. Okay.
Yeah.
You could just do that, marinate on it. You have my email. You let me know what you decided in a couple of weeks, and I'll write you a thoughtful email back because I want to hear.
I mean, I really want to do this. I've been asking the universe for some help. I've been desperate, and you came up today, and then this call came up right away. I jumped on it. I mean, it's just all these signs, man. Like, and I have the time to do it.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
So there's no excuses anymore. This has been, you know, so many signs that, you know, I won Best Artist in Jefferson County in the newspaper, and I never even ran. And I was a bank teller, and I was like, I gotta get back and do this art thing.
Got it.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So you could even potentially go back and get the bank teller job then.
Yeah. I really want to do something different though. If I'm going to do something part-time, I'm going to do something different that feeds my soul while I'm waiting.
Good. Not while you're waiting, while you're grinding like crazy to get this art business off the ground.
Thank you for saying that. Yes. I love that energy and I need it while I'm grinding. Yes, sir.
Yes, you do. So if you had a good day job, I would be comfortable advising you to sign up. If you didn't, I wouldn't. And that's my final position.
Okay.
And I'm sorry to say that, but I want you having like financial peace in your mind so that you can spend the time on everything else. Otherwise, listen to the podcast and keep following us, and you know, osmosis will continue to move that into your head and get you working on the right things. I
respect your answer and your time so much.
Send me an email afterwards, and I want to look at your Instagram account. And I'll give you some tips. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Teresa. And I'm glad, Teresa, and I'm glad that you're healing from an autoimmune disease. That's terrible. You're way too young for that. All right, this has been super interesting, and I'm totally taking liberties, like trying to be her dad. But I'm not her dad. But I want, you know, I don't like the ticking time clock. I really don't. Like, I don't want you guys to have this giant stress and pressure. Meanwhile, you sign up, and every single solitary day, I'm yelling at you to start marketing consistently. It's hard. It's a lot to take on, right? It's a lot to take on. But great questions. Who else, guys? Questions? I should mention that all the good stuff, all the links and the pricing articles and all the cool stuff that I mentioned in that initial presentation is all going to be in the email that I'm going to send you. Yes, I'm going to send you yet another email. I'm aware that it's out of control. And by the way, Thrace, it wasn't the universe that maybe popped up today, okay? It was the fact that I'm very, very good at my job, and I'm popped up in every single solitary person's universe. In fact, you can't get rid of me now because I know what I'm doing in terms of marketing. You guys will not be able to avoid me, especially now that you've clicked on my site for the next like 30 to 60 days. But that is not the universe. That is just being good at marketing and having a budget, you know, which we would teach you how to do in time. But that's just honest truth. Super interesting session today. Definitely not boring. All right, guys. Well, I want you to all get in gear. Okay, like seriously, like right now. I've got a visual somewhere here. Let me see if I can pull the damn thing up. Like this is the reason. And bear with me because this was from a presentation that I gave earlier in the week. I got to get my little thing all queued up. Is this gonna work? Okay, good. Yeah, I could pop my fat head. I'm not taking your survey. Get out of here. How do I move this along? Oh, okay. I'm gonna move through. You guys don't want to see all this. Hold on. How do I do this? This is the good visual that explains where we are. Okay. So the spring season over there, it's all opposite. That's like the 1X. The 1X. That's essentially like the baseline for normal art and photography sales throughout the year, right? Now around New Year's, you get about a 1.5 multiple. In the summer season, for a whole bunch of different reasons, summer people are moving, which is the primary one. You know, people move, they have more downtime, it's easier to reach them, it's 3X. During the holiday season, it's 5X, you guys. It's like 5X. Like another way to think about it is the credit card company is paying 5X bonus points. And this is true whether you are an Art Storefronts customer or not. Okay, we get into the fourth quarter of the year, and us North Americans are a consumer-driven culture when all of the big companies start pumping the advertising dollars like crazy. This deal, that deal, you can't miss out. It's everywhere. It's on every billboard, every TV, every printed news medium, all over TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you spend your time, YouTube. We all get whipped into a frenzy. It applies to art. And so the smartest thing that we can do as artists and photographers is let people know we exist ahead of time and then have a sale when everyone else is having a sale. It just works. It's always worked. It always will work. So it's something to be aware of. You know, do I want you guys to sign up? Yes, I do. Do I want you to let people know you exist right now ahead of you know, after Halloween when all the craziness really starts getting started? Yeah, I do. So think about how you can do that. Focus on that. Really appreciate all of you guys staying until the end. And email me, Theresa. You let me know about the job, and I'll audit your Instagram account for you, and I'll even post it. And then what else? I think that's it. Unless there's any finals. Yeah, Don, I can have somebody. I have your email address. I'll have somebody email you, Don. Just leave it at that. You don't have to do anything because I know I've got your email address. But yeah, get to getting, guys. Best time of the year coming. I want all of you rocking it. All right. Thanks, guys.